Hello, everyone. This is Silk. We're doing a bit of a tactical kind of strategic recap here for From Russia with Love, Turn 9. Uh, Things are definitely heating up in the point of contention. Most important, certainly, is this one right here. Italy has decided to go ahead and join in the fight. They've grabbed a few things where they could. That's definitely going to make for a much hotter time in the Mediterranean now. You're going to see forces moving in there and contesting, and you'll see, I imagine, quite a few contested fights. In the meantime, the Americans are steadily moving along. They're at 45, so they're only 18 away, which is 2.5 rolls, um, which will certainly impact Japan as far as their time clock there. Soviets are also just about at their 46, so I suspect it kind of this is the time when things heat up. You guys are going to see a whole lot, I imagine, over the next two turns here as things really get moving. Um, Amongst the bonuses, I don't think there's anything in particularly that was interesting or changed over. Oh, I got to give Italy its bonus. That's really the one thing I noticed. Let's go ahead and do that here real quick. Italy has earned one of their bonuses there for having no allied warships in the Mediterranean. Don't think that one's going to last very long, but they have it for right now. Other than that, on the tech chart, the Americans just smoked it. Went 5 for 7, and I think they hit on almost all of their tech supremacy ones too. So they're really rolling. They got rockets finished, which you don't really want rockets quite this early in the game, but this one they may cause some real damage with this, and they're not far away from jets. Keep an eye on jets between Soviets, not Soviets, Germans and Americans. Jets. If he's going to want to do a strategic bombing campaign with heavy bombers, he'll want to pair it with jets and get things going. And long-range aircraft is kind of the other key part of that. You'll notice Germany's almost got it finished. America's catching up, so that's a thing there. Um, Other key distinction is again, America failed its large ships, which is just going to make it that much easier for Japan to dominate there. Japan just needs this to get finished, and then they'll be all set for the Atlantic. And the Soviets are just kind of plodding along. British got radar, which is the only one they really need. Everything else they'll just take kind of in stride as far as that goes. So, as for the map itself, big air war brewing here. England's got 7 fighters. Germany has, I think, also 7 fighters. And England went ahead and are doing a little pincher move here. So currently, as written here, a single plane blocks uh, all aircraft movement. One plane can stop 10. Is kind of the way things work. There's no screening forces for airplanes. So this single plane prevents all of these planes and all of these units from attacking London. Is why you're seeing this um, board arranged the way it is. I suspect you'll probably may see an air duel come out here, and he'll attack with 4 or 5 fighters, 6 fighters maybe, and uh, Global War enthusiasts will have the option of scrambling, and he'll just choose not to. He'll just let his plane die, and then next turn he'll just put out another one and kind of call it a day. However, the cost of all of this is that Northern England and Scotland are entirely exposed to an attack. Now he's got a bunch of a militia. He's got enough aircraft. He's figuring he can take it back pretty easily. Um, well, he won't be able to take Scotland. Well, he's got an airborne, I guess. It won't be that hard. Although, yeah, it may not have an air transport here. That's a decent question. Um, Depending on what Germany wants to do, you're going to see an air war, and you may see Germany start building up a larger fleet there. Because if he can challenge this fleet here, he can then navally invade London directly, and that will change the math real quick. Meanwhile, the Americans came in, so they showed up. That's what you're seeing there. Although by all appearances, it looks like they're heading to the Pacific. This is basically all of the American fleet that's not those 3 destroyers and the 2 coastal subs. So looks like he's chomping at the bit to get into the Pacific. He's got to get to wartime before he can do that. The British destroyed the Vichy, which flipped 2 ships to the Germans, which I think is why Italy went, because they're now going to be able to get some nice support from the Germans now. So you may see all sorts of stuff here. Italy's a little light. So you may see some German units move into northern Italy and Rome there. You may see some transport action coming back to northern Algeria. You may see some transport action coming over here. Iraq is going to flip German, so I suspect you may see some warfare there between Germany and Great Britain. Overall, just a very Mediterranean is going to get pretty hot. This guy's not long for the world. And on the Soviet front, things are also pretty interesting. Got a kind of German army kind of 1 here, and then kind of German army B here. And either one of those can definitely cause some strife to the Soviets. But you've got this kind of British blocking force in the way of this army. So, but if he comes south, it doesn't matter. He could bring this army south, bring nowhere, and kind of make a dive for Kiev. We'll see. What the Soviets are just kind of holding their breath, waiting to see. And then over here in Japan, the other fun part is that the KMT have done at least 2 strategic bombers, which is pretty interesting. So it looks like they're maybe try to use that to just attrition down some of these Japanese forces and weaken them, and then eventually this army here will get enough artillery, which it's not far off. He already has 5. This army will go active if it gets just a little bit more stuff, which puts pressure on Japan to go take out Burma, to cut off the Burma Road so that no more Lend-Lease can get to there. And that's what we'll see what Japan decides it wants to do. It's at, what did I say, 18? I think it's 18 away from the U.S., which is just about any Japanese. The Dutch East Indies at this point is basically 13, and then you get the 6 for the start of America's turn. That's 19. So if the Dutch go for the Dutch East Indies, the Americans likely go into the war. So anyway, so you may go ahead and just see a surprise strike this turn. There's a lot of choices. He can take out Malaya. He could probably kill this army here, which is these guys, if he really wants to. These AAA is kind of the fear, but on this price tag they only defended 2s, so they're not quite as scary on that turn. But he also only has the 4 planes, so I don't know. But he's got a decent number of troops. He's got some bombards. There's some choices there. We'll see what Panzer J decides to come up with. He may surprise strike Sydney. He may sweep up here and here. Might even go after Hawaii. He's got some major choices here. You could see Hawaii fall. That's possible. Just don't know. He has plenty of choices. Peace kind of reigns supreme here between the Soviets and the Japanese. That's why that's all demilitarized there. And I think that's about it, really. Not sure there's much else to comment on too much. Keep an eye on the Mediterranean, though. That is, I think this will be the biggest hotspot of turn 9 will be here, unless the Germans come after us. But even if the Germans do come after us, there's not a lot of fighting here. There's just them taking territory, and then the Soviets kind of saying, oh crap, and building a bunch of stuff. So we'll see what happens. Hope everybody's following along and having a good time. If you have any questions, just throw something in the chat for me, and I'll try to comment on it. That's it. Game on. Everybody have a great day.